Over to Chief Brown.
Thank you, Brian. Good evening, Chief Brown, Kevin Brown from Roosevelt Public Safety. I really appreciate that I'm given the opportunity to come out once a month and discuss public safety issues, or any issues that anyone wants to bring up, public safety related, or any questions that I can answer for the community. I appreciate it, and I feel good about just being transparent to the community and being able to answer and follow up on a number of issues. So before I get started, October is I like these awareness months, and October is Breast Awareness Month. There's a March 22nd, if anyone's interested. It's an issue, it's something that comes up that some of us know somebody who has had some type of cancers, and it's a really good march to participate in. And another awareness month, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And the reason why I bring that up is because I have the crime stats for Roosevelt Island. And in this community, we have above average amount of domestic violence issues. Half of my complaints for the year are attributed to some type of domestic violence. And it runs the gamut. Partners, spouses, children and parents. And it's something that we had this issue just a couple of months ago on the island where that terrible incident happened, and it all started out with domestic violence in the house, and the siblings were kind of going at it. So I just like for us to check in with our neighbors, make sure that we're all okay, do what we can, try to do something. One of the reasons why I really like coming is because this is a community event. I like that this is, whatever our issues are here, we discuss them as a community and we try to solve them as a community. So it's more than just public safety, policing, and law enforcement. I really truly believe in the premise of community policing, and whatever I can do, I'm open at all times. Last year we had a seminar on domestic violence. The Manhattan DA's office, they came down, they talked about it, they handed out cards, they were on Zoom, and they left their number. So anyone who knows something or helps somebody, Domestic Violence Awareness Month is something that we take serious in public safety, and at RIOC and the president on down. So for this month, we had one crime of assault. Neighbors, they were fighting, and that was the only crime. And I said this last month, and I really believe, again, in the community policing model. What really makes a community, their perception of crime and violence is the disorder. And when people are accosting you at the train station, or we have a lot of mental health in this community also, issues. So we don't want that to come to our doorstep. But as far as violent crime on the island, we've had 3 robberies this entire year. I've heard some people say that we've had a lot of crime issues. We've had 3 robberies. And of the 3 robberies, 2 of them were young people. One was a student from the child's school. He robbed another student and took his AirPods. Another one was 2 kids from a group home. Again, they took their AirPods. And the third one was a person at Wholesome, where they went in and took some property from Wholesome, and it was kind of a larceny, but it turned into a robbery because they bit the person at Wholesome. And those are our 3 robberies. Those are most violent crimes on the island. I don't like to say that we're lucky. I like to say that public safety does a good job by being visible, by being out there. I've heard from a number of my partners in law enforcement that, coming onto the island, that you do see that it's safe on the island. So I just like to, bring that up. And again, so one of the things that we do to make sure and ensure that we have safety, Mr. Haynes put in a 10-point plan way back in May. And it addressed a number of things. One of the things that I get daily, constituent services. Anytime that someone wants to report that there's an issue that deals with public safety, they directly have me follow up on it. That was one of his big issues with constituent services, is that we have relentless follow-up, that you report immediately, that you have somebody who you can report an issue to, and that they get right back to you. And if there's anything that comes public safety way, we get right on it. Mr. Haynes, he was adamant, and we have the people here from constituent service that deal with it. And I have direct communication and conversation with them all the time about this. We brought back the bike patrol, and I'd like to also follow up. And last month we talked about one of the issues was the cars on the promenades, and what's public safety doing about it. And one of the issues that I saw, and Mr. Haynes saw this also, is that it's easier for bicycles to patrol on the promenades than it is for cars. And we have the bicycles, they're on there. During the issues down at the tram, I had to pull people off of the bikes and get them over to the tram because of the long lines. But to keep it in order at the tram. And we kind of moved back to our bike patrols out there. I mandated that they're on bikes from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night every single day, because it is effective. They can go down to the promenades. They can patrol on the promenades a lot easier than if I have a car, which kind of I'm adding to the issue of having more vehicles on the promenade. So now I have the bicycles on the promenades, and complaints that I got was that their bicycles going too fast on the promenade. So now my bicycle patrol are out on the promenade, policing the bicycles and the illegally driving of the cars on the promenade. So we're out there 7 days a week, from 7 in the morning to 11 p.m., they're on bicycles. That was also part of Mr. Haynes' 10-point plan. We got the training, we have the people, we have the equipment, and they're out there policing. And in addition to having my officers out there in law enforcement and enforcement, I always say that a lot of times you can't police your way out of every issue. And I met with one of the main culprits of the people driving on the promenades, and that was the people from Westview and River, of course, and their maintenance. And I met with the building managers, and we're holding them responsible. We have to. We cannot allow that they just break the rules, and we are policing them a lot more effectively. We kind of, at the last meeting, we heard this. We heard the complaint. Get the cars and the fast bicycles off the promenades, and right after that meeting, myself and the deputy, we went out, we met with Kershaw from Westview. We got my bike patrol back up because we have it really, my officers were doing a great job down the tram, and now the tram is kind of moving into it's working itself out on its own, where we have minimum officers down there, and now we're back to our bike patrol. Additionally, another complaint that I received last week, or last month, was the parking on Main Street. Now, I don't mind giving out summonses. Someone was saying that I don't give out enough summonses. We give out a ton of summonses. We give out so many summonses. Do people still park there? Some people do, and they get summons more than others. But we put notices out on the cars, because now we're towing cars. We are towing vehicles that are the chronic people who are parked on Main Street. They got a number of summonses, and now we towed a number of cars this month, this past. Because the community's right. They can't illegally park with no consequences. So we towed a number of cars, and they just like I thought, they came marching into my office. Why did my car get towed? Why did you start doing this? Well, they were illegally parked. They were breaking the rules, and these were the consequences for your actions, that these cars are towed. And now they were some of the people who were just breaking the rules on a daily basis, and their cars were towed, and they had to go pick up their cars at the tow facility. So I heard some of the complaints. I follow up on the complaints, and it's just as a community, it's not the right thing when we just give out summonses. That there has to be severe consequences for actions, and the towing of the cars was just something that we had to get to as a public safety state. We can't open it up so that everybody on the island can park their cars, so that everybody can also be safe, that we're not down on the promenade, that it's just something that we had to do. One other issue that we continue to have in public safety is 460 Main Street. And it went away for a long time, but I'm getting a few more complaints, going back to meeting with the building managers, going back to meeting with the group from 460 Barbara Parker, because I think that, again, back to the mental health aspect that goes on, that we, and public safety, RIOC in the building, that we have to kind of follow up. There's been a lot of things that have gone there, and it was rectifying itself, but then we just thought that it was going to go away on its own. So a little bit of follow-up down at 460 will go a long way to making sure that we keep our community safe, that we keep it safe and for everyone. Then one of the other good things that the public safety has been doing, we've been doing this forever, the building verticals. They work. We've come upon a number of homeless people who go into the building, especially the buildings, the CNC buildings. They enter into the buildings, but my officers, they do verticals in those buildings 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They check the places where homeless could possibly camp out, and a lot of the issues with the homeless is that they need services. I believe that homeless is, we border on being a criminal condition, but it's a real social condition. And most of the people who are homeless, they're there and they're just trying to stay out of the elements. So what do? Probably 90% of the time is that we get them to a place of safety. If they have to go to the hospital, they need some type of care, we call an ambulance for them. Some people, they do get arrested. Some people are trespassing and they must be arrested. But probably 90% of the people are looking to just get out of the elements and get out of the weather. And some people, we have to arrest them because they have trespassed and they're not really just there for out of the elements. So that's kind of you know, my public safety update, like I said, for the year, and just for the year, crime-wise, we're in the 10th month already, and while the year's gone so fast, it's already October, and we have 26 crimes, and 14 of them are assaults. So we have 12 other crimes, and 3 of them are robberies. Very, very small numbers, but with those small numbers, that means that we do have victims, and it is our job to make sure that we keep everyone safe. And that's about it. I do have one more thing to say, because the person's here, but I have a really good partner at Cornell University. Rich Silver is the head of the security down at Cornell University. I've known him since 1995. And he's actually leaving Cornell University. Very good, good partner on the island. Anything that they need down at Cornell, I tried to be there for them. So, you know, I'm gonna thank you for, you know, Rich Silver. Good to see you. And I will now open up to questions.
Hello. Recently there's been a lot of package theft in the landings, and last month on September 26th, there was one that was caught on a Ring doorbell camera. It was not me personally, but it was somebody else that has a camera, a Ring doorbell, and they were able to catch it on the camera. I have no idea if they reported it. I can't report it because it's not my package, but I still went to public safety to show them the video and to show them the person that did it and see if there's anything that they could do about it. So just wanted to know if you know anything about that.
Okay, I did hear about this. The person whose package never came in to report it.
I understand, of course they have to do that, but tons of people won't report it. Still, the person that stole it, I'm sure, will keep stealing packages because nothing is done. That was the package that was left on someone's door, and that is a problem, that people just grab packages at people's door, but also many delivery drivers just leave them in the lobby, and many people just steal them from there. There are cameras in the lobby, so obviously you guys can figure out who they are, but management just tells us to, if anything happens, go to you guys about a report. Thankfully, it hasn't happened to me yet, but it happens every day. And
I understand you and I hear you. I don't know if it happens every day, but I can tell you that I've heard that you came in. The person whose package, who you said that you saw, they didn't come in and make a complaint. So we didn't have a complainant for that issue. Are packages stolen? I don't know if it's as rampant as some people would like to make others believe. Does it happen? I'm sure that it does happen, but we don't have a number of complaints on that. But we will follow up, we'll look at the cameras. If you come in and...
I have the video, I emailed it to you guys.
But the person whose package says...
I don't know who they are.
They didn't make a complaint.
But still, it's a crime. I mean, you can see the person taking it. You're not gonna see who they are and try to do something about it just because the person doesn't report it.
We knocked on the door when you said this is the video.
Yeah.
They said they didn't make a complaint. The person when you gave us the video, we knocked on their door. They said they don't want to make a complaint.
How do you know who they are?
We knocked on the door when you...
How do you know it's like where they live? Because I didn't have an address for them.
Then the video that you gave us of the building, where we had the video, we looked into it, and we knocked on doors, and no one made any complaints of a package being stolen. I would love to help you. It wasn't your package. The people in the building, no one came to us. I can't make people make complaints.
No, I understand that. But there's still someone that committed a crime.
I would like to know who they are.
And I sent the video where you can see the person's face, and I asked the officers, I know I cannot submit a report, but if you can just show them to all the officers and know who this person is, so if you see them, you can do something about this person and, you know, make it known that it's not okay to do that. And
Okay,
if
so-
people know that's not okay, they're gonna stop doing it.
So you're asking me to stop people randomly who haven't been accused of anything and say that they did something based on your video?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the person, you can see their face.
And then
Yeah,
I
I mean,
stopped
that's
them.
true.
And then you're telling me to stop them based on that no one complained about anything. I would love to help. We can talk about this offline, and we can. I would love to help, but I don't think that I can get into the business of just walking up to people when you have video of and accusing them of doing something. And I would, and we have no one who complained about packages being stolen.
Still a crime, and it's on camera, so.
Yes, sir. Oh.
It is an ongoing problem. Also lost packages.
Hold on, she's gonna come to you so I can hear you.
Thank you. I've also lost packages in the landings building due to theft. So I just want to reiterate her comment. So to me, the issue is not about your inability to follow up on a video, but whether we can institute some security measures to prevent further theft. And the two of us are not the only ones who have lost things due to theft in the building. It's an ongoing issue. Many people have lost things to theft. So maybe, I don't know, if there are cameras or something that could be done. So I no longer receive packages out of the building as my solution because it's an ongoing problem.
So this is what my first suggestion is, that we have to report it. The only way that we can have accurate follow-up is if we report it. We need someone to report that something was taken, and then we can get the building involved. We can get the carriers involved about leaving packages different places. But the first thing that we have to do is that, you know, a report. We need a report so that we can have something. And having video of someone taking something, picking up a package and walking away with it, and no one complained that their package was missing, it gets us into, unless, you know, that we catch them with it at the time, going to them after the fact when nobody complained. They don't have the property on them. But listen, I'm here to come up with solutions. I'm gonna talk to the building, I'm gonna talk to the carriers, and come up with a better way of where people can leave their packages or how we can, you know, solve this issue.
If somebody else has something else to say, I mean, I don't want to take everything to say, I just have a follow-up, something to say. If you want to, I don't know, does anybody want to say? Oh.
Sorry, and something else is that in the lobby, people, like, part of the problem is they just take them from people's stores, and then another part of the problem are the delivery drivers that are not going up and putting it in people's stores or knocking on their door, they just leave it in the lobby. A few months ago, I caught the delivery driver dropping the package, and I was like, I told him, you're not allowed to leave them there because people will steal it. And they're like, well, there's nothing I can do. He's like, yes, you can. You can just take the packages and go up. I don't want to get a ticket. No, well, you can't leave them here. No, I don't want to get a ticket. My company is going to reprimand me. So obviously, this is, by the way, this is not USPS, this is not FedEx, this is not UPS. UPS and FedEx will always put a sticker on your door, but other carriers will not. DHL, I have seen their packages there. Lasership, which is a last mile Amazon delivery company. They're not hired, it's like a contractor, they're hired by Amazon. And they don't have access to lockers. So if they can't access the Amazon lockers and obviously don't have the key to the mailboxes, they're just gonna leave them there because they don't wanna get the ticket. So if there's any way you can communicate with them to figure out a solution,
I will, I can
and food
easily.
and espresso, like I can start taking pictures every single day of this is every day. I don't, hopefully other people don't take them, but there's a lot of traffic in the lobby of my building.
So you're saying every day there's a package stolen?
I'm not saying that though. I'm saying every day there are tons of packages left in the lobby that technically anybody can take. There's a camera there, so I don't know if that is deterring them to do it, which would be great, but I don't know if it is.
Okay, like I said, I will reach out to the first thing, I will reach out to the building. I'll talk to their head of security and see what the policy or process is, and we'll work from there going that way.
Okay, and then just a final thought is that the reason why people are not reaching out to them is because it's easier for them to just call Amazon, call them, and then get a new package, the same package in like 3 minutes than having to go to your boss's office and file a police report. I filed a police report about some loitering that was happening in my building last year. Nothing ever happened. Nobody ever reached out to me. So it's just like you get tired of trying to do something and then you don't feel heard. Why keep even trying when you know you can just call Amazon or whichever store and just tell them this happened and they're gonna solve it in a few minutes. So you guys don't have the most friendly process for submitting complaints. So people are not gonna submit complaints if it's like this.
There was a grand larceny
It
reported.
wasn't a package stolen.
It wasn't a package.
No.
What was it?
It was somebody, it was this month, and somebody had given somebody $20 and they wanted their $20 back, and we classified it as grand larceny. It actually, it should not have been, but it wasn't no package was stolen.
Any other questions?
Any questions?
Setting a record here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand both sides. I don't think I need that. I don't need that. I understand both sides. I understand your side. I also understand your side. But going in and out of the pantry, so I see a lot of it, and especially in 546. All these, I don't know who's delivering them. They leave, even if it's food, like from what is it, Cracker Barrel or one of those places that delivers food. Like it'll sit there. They just leave them. And to me, the solution is getting to the carriers and getting to management of that building. I mean, they have to forbid packages being left like that from these carriers or don't come into the building. You know, and I've done what the person back there said. I tell people, all my friends have it delivered to my building where there's a doorman. Just put it in care of me.
I will definitely reach out. I'll probably text him tonight, the head of security, about, because this issue came up. But as far as, the carriers leaving packages, sometimes that's what people ask the carriers to do. That is part of, that it could be. Sometimes, I don't know what some people,
Like they're leaving them in the entrance.
that sometimes people couldn't say, leave it right there. I don't know why people are leaving the packages and then they are not then complaining that their packages are stolen. So that could be the arrangement. I don't know what the arrangements are with carriers when people order. I know I make arrangements with my carrier when I order. I tell them what I would like for them to do. I don't know what everyone in every building wants how they want their packages delivered.
Just to reiterate, obviously, it's an important issue, and that's why these meetings are good, is that we can hear the feedback, but also just reiterating the importance of reporting it to PSD and how it makes that infinitely easier on the follow-up end moving forward, and to be able to go back to building management and go back to carriers with an actual report about something in hand, I think probably makes the process
Well, I did go. I just could not submit the report because it wasn't my package.
I'm saying for the folks who, you know, have their packages taken.
Yes.
Can you just update two incidents? One was the stabbing at the deli, and the other was the incident involving the Frito-Lay truck driver.
The stabbing at the deli, which happened a few months ago, the victim was uncooperative, investigated by NYPD, and no arrest was made. The Frito-Lay, the delivery person, I didn't follow up on, there is no outcome to her case yet. She's still in criminal court. She had a summons for that.
Thank you.
There's a question back
When you go to the store, they ask you how you want your package to be delivered. You can say, I want the package to be delivered personal to me. Do not leave the package downstairs. You can say that. And things are not the same as it used to be. So do not leave your packages downstairs unless it's in a compartment or something. Now that's up to you, but you have to think now, what is going on? But I'm sorry to hear about the packages. It is being, people are taking packages from buildings, but you have the right to say, I want the package to be delivered to me personally, because you were taking a chance leaving the package downstairs. And some of those packages, they are left downstairs for a long time. So you have to think. Well, have a nice day.
Thank you. And you're right. But we will follow up, though. We will follow up. The first thing I'll do is reach out to the building manager. I think they're talking about CNC buildings.
Yeah.
And I'll reach out to CNC, the head of security, and then we'll go from there. We'll put our, collective minds together. We'll reach out to the delivery, but I know the two of the main deliveries. I know those guys, so I don't know who's leaving the packages. I know the UPS guy. I know him.
No,
He doesn't.
I know him too. He will always go to your door.
Yeah, so-
So will FedEx, but there are many other carriers that are not those guys. That are
Okay.
just like last mile delivery that companies will hire, and it's a different person every time, so.
All right, so like I said, we'll follow up, and but I do. I mean, even if you call constituent services, talk about a package that was whatever meant for apartment 12B or wherever, we can then have something that we can follow up. It's very, very hard for us, if I refer to NYPD, to follow up on issues that we have nobody that's complaining about. It's very hard to do that. But we will be on the lookout, and like I said, first thing, I'll talk to CNC, and we'll go down that road first.
Any other questions?
If you don't find a question. Last one, it's unrelated to this topic.
That's what I'm here for.
And then, probably a week ago or 2 weeks ago, at the tennis courts, I called because the lights were not working. I was wondering if they had been replaced or not working to get replaced. Some of them, not all of them, probably like 5 or 6 were off. And since the days are getting shorter now, you do need lights on.
Do we follow up with you specifically about those
Sure.
points?
Yeah.
We'll talk with maintenance about it.
Just a heads up, for this kind of complaint, we usually request citizens to submit a ticket or talk to constituent services so we can submit a ticket on your behalf.
So Well, I did.
so that we can,
I did talk
go
to
ahead.
PSD and they came in, they said they would write a ticket and a report, so that
Okay, we
will
can
get
follow
done,
up.
but I don't know.
I will
And
follow
you did
up.
have a record of it, so.
We'll follow up. All right.
Thank you, everybody. Record time. Enjoy the rest of your evening.